So this is a little video on what you did. If I could clone you into everybody else in the class, I wouldn't have to do very much work and life would be good. So take that as a great compliment. Thank you for your hard work. I'm going to add some stuff to this so you kind of can really get an understanding of what you've done and where it is going to take you. Okay, so let's start with this. We don't have to put this in there. That's good, but you don't have to. It's extra stuff. Changes to double spaced. Everything is double spaced. Times New Roman 12 font, double spaced. Okay, you see that the only real errors here are the. When you're talking about somebody else's study, it's the word the. It's hard. It takes time to get that together. So I'll come back to some other stuff. And then you see there's really nothing else here. Okay. You put the article here. So you did do it right, but it's like, it just doesn't sound correct. It takes time. It's kind of like talking in third person. Okay. Just saw this again. We don't put this in here. And I'm going to tell you why. You just pointed to other articles without citations from other articles. If you ever say other studies, previous studies, and that at the end, you need the citations. You don't have to have the articles. You should have the articles in your stuff. But if you don't, even at that, even if you took it from another article and you put it in there and you need the full citation at the end of the annotated bib, and then it would be in your reference page too. So stay away from that unless it is something that's going to really bolster it. It's not just a sentence you want to throw out there. And you need to make sure if you do that, you have, because you're saying that these findings were previous research findings, that's a plural. So you need two or more citations. Now, if you have them and you want to put them in there, that's fine. But that's extra work that's not really necessary here. And that would bring me to my point. This is a very well done, which gave me an idea of what the article was about up here. So in the idea of this section right here, see, like here, I didn't see this, several researchers. So right here, if you're going to keep those several researchers, you need two citations. Okay. And then the full citations at the end of this actual annotated bib, or change the sentence and you're good. So that's previous research, several researchers, other studies, anything that points to something else, you need to be able to back it up because you just said somebody else spoke about it, but you didn't give them any credit. Okay. So great purpose statement here. Okay. Perfectly done. So this line right here, I'm going to highlight them right now and I'll take it out. This line right here and this line right here are the two most important parts when you're doing your annotated bib. Why? Because there are keywords in here: psychological variables, behavior change, and maybe influence the practice, but that's kind of like minor. Okay. Physical activity, yes. Frail, pre-frail, elderly people. Okay. And then the relationship, but that's extra. So let's do this again. Psychological variables, behavioral change, really physical activity, frail, pre-frail, and then elderly people on top of it. Okay. You did that exactly up here. So these two match, home run. Now, this is the background. I'm going to put this in another light color here. So this is your background. And as you look at the background and you look at the introduction where you pulled this information from, the whole idea is to accentuate the stuff in the yellow to come back and make sense in the green, whether it be a definition or what you did here where you're talking about something and you're defining it and you're really bringing it to the forefront. It does not have to be a lot of stuff. So this is perfect. And you understand I'm making this video for other people too, because it's really well done. So if I take this, I look at the purpose statement, I look at this, you've talked about something. It's not a ton of stuff. It's not 12 pages. It's 2 to 3 different items that are real important. Okay. And the reason for that is that we use the annotated bib as a stepping stone to understand the material. We want you to be a relative expert. When you used to do it with 30, you became a pretty well relative expert in the topic because you have read so much stuff on it. Things start to flow from your tongue. Okay. So in this idea, when you're looking at this paragraph, you're looking at the yellows, and does the green from that introduction of the paper point directly to what they're trying to say? If it doesn't, you need to add to it. This is pretty well set up. Okay. It's not everything that's in the article. It's not everything. Why? Because when you come to the second half, which is your discussion, you now have a synopsis of 15 different articles in different areas. If your study of the literature brings you to a point where this is important, you're going to go back to that article and find as much as you can on it to find the quote to go with in your discussion. So you don't have to put everything here, and you don't have to put a ton of stuff here, but it's enough that if I was to set this down for 2 years and pick it up, I would understand what this is about. If this middle section here, the green section, is weak, it's useless. You wasted your time. Just to get her done doesn't happen. This is very, very important in the process. It's like, well, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to? That's the reason. You're setting yourself up for discussion. Now, that doesn't mean that if you go back and find something totally different from what you learned, you're going to have to go back to a library. But now you're going to know what to look for, because that shows me that you know what to look for in the article to find something important. So you find another article, you find the important stuff, and you move on. See, you become more efficient. Okay? By the time you do, if you're in the capstone, by the time you do 6 or 7 of these, they should just flow. That's why we ask you to push and get quantitative articles. It's a quantitative article. Every spot was filled, and it should take you, after a little while, 20 minutes. Why? From beginning to end. Okay? Now, there were, did I take out the number? Oops. There were 103. Sorry, my bad. 103 frail elderly in the study. Okay? Who participated in the study. Okay? And then I put this here. All of this we don't need. It's really well done, but you don't need it. Okay, I know it says it in the video, but when we changed over, I love that video and the way the video is set up. So I just tell people at the beginning, hey, you don't have to do that. It's okay. If you were doing a full study with participants, this becomes important because it teaches you about how the studies work. Okay, so you gave me a little bit about the participants. If there's anything else, second sentence, such as like, let's say if there was sports, you say the participants played A, basketball, B, use list form. Okay. Now we go down and everything's good here. Everything's good here. Everything's good here. And then this time you put the finding support. That's fine. Or one result, or the result showed. Okay. And then this is a perfect why. The article focused on that. Okay. And then she added a little extra, whoever this person is added a little extra. And then this is the factors. It's well done. Everything is double spaced, 12 Times New Roman, 12 font. Okay. So these findings point back to this. So this yellow, first yellow, points to the second yellow. Now, when we get down here and we talk about the findings, those findings should talk about this, and then so should basically this whole why. Okay? You've talked about the article, and now you've come back at the end with the why and said, hey, this is what the article focused on. You're telling someone that, hey, this is what it's about. Okay? She added in a second line. If you can't add in a second line like she did, I kept saying she might as well just say what she did here. Well, guess what? Who cares? If you don't have it, don't have it. If you do, you do. If you read the article, you'll probably be able to put in a second sentence, which bolsters and edifies the first sentence. And then this is the factors here are perfectly done. Okay? So focusing in on this is almost a perfect annotated bibliography. Okay? Get rid of the colors real quick. So again, to summarize, this is a great introductory sentence. Very short and sweet and tells us what we need. This purpose statement copied in is perfect. Okay? The background here, perfectly done. Not a lot, but enough to say, okay, this is what it's really about, without having to go through 12 pages, because you're just wasting time. If you write a page and a half for all the stuff there, it's going to take you a half hour, 45 minutes. And then guess what? When you go to do your discussion and you go back, you may have the answer in there, but you may have to go back to the article anyway. So why not just give the best of the best that you find in that section, and then turn around and go for it. Last point. This person did a great job on their first try. And this is what the other one looked like. So it wasn't perfect, but it followed the directions that I sent out, that are in that annotated bib, week 3 annotated bib, to a T. Now, when she gets these edits back and she makes the edits and turns it back in, now she's going to continually do the same thing if she got good quantitative articles. If you say, well, oh, Dr. Jeff doesn't know what he's talking about, this sounds like a really good article, and you go to write it and you got to fight with it. You're fighting with the article. That's not what I want. I want you to be able to read, understand, place the important information in there, and then get her done. If it's 4 in my research methods class, it should take you what? 20, 40, 60, let's say 90 to 110 minutes to do everything. Maybe a little bit more with the first 2, okay? Because you're not sure. But I just need you to go for it because we're editing. Make sure that you got, when you look back, you say, I got an introductory sentence, I got some background here, I got this, I got that, I got this, got that. If I don't like it, you're going to get a video just like this. Okay? Other than that, thank you and have a good day.